Eno, okay.
Hi, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I can.
You're welcome to this call. Yeah, welcome to this call. My name is Eno Vwaire, and I'll be your host today on the Coffee Chatter. We are on the We Table It platform, and today we'll be discussing a very interesting topic. We'll take 1 or 2 minutes to wait for a few people to join us before we commence with the introduction and we start off. Thank you for joining. As you come in, kindly share this page, share this live. We want to have as much people as we can on this call. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in Lagos, Nigeria. We want to have more people join this call, so help us share this call as you come in. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate every one of you who have been very constant with us on this platform and have in no little way contributed to the growth of this place since we started. On behalf of my co-hosts and every of the technical team, we want to say a big thank you. So this is the Coffee Chatter of We Table It. Kindly share this post as you see it. We want to have more people come on. We are trying to catch as many people as we can on this call today. Let me try to do this. Can you see me clearly? Please, I need a feedback. Yeah, I think that should be fine. All right. Okay. As you come in, please share. I'm going to start talking in about a minute. For every one of you on the Zoom call, I want to say welcome. I have my co-host here with me, Valerie Ganga from Kenya, Nairobi. I have Olagemi Ushadi, the barrister, the one who's going to give us a legal perspective on the topic today. We have Matilda Akande. She's my sister, here to give me moral support today. We have Boniface, the class captain of our team, like I would like to call him. And I have someone who is very dear to me, my friend Adeze Obiayo at the back end. I see Vicky Yaro. She was here a while ago. I'm not sure she's here. I want to say welcome to every one of you. Vicky Yaro, you're welcome. Thank you for joining this call. Today on Coffee Chatter, we're going to be discussing something that is very, very interesting. We had a trending topic not so long ago, and it's still trending. Thank you for the feedback, Vicky. All right, so the topic has been trending, and We know that a lot of people need clarity on this topic. So today on We Table It, we'll be talking about marriage and bigamy, or marriage versus bigamy. And we'll be looking at the statutory provisions of a legal marriage. All right. So before we start, I want to quickly let you know that we've been having some of these discussions on this platform. We've been having discussions like elimination of violence, that's saying no to jungle justice. We've been having, the mental implication of a business partnership divorce. We've talked about why is Africa poor, a lot of topics that have been very, very impactful to every of our viewers on this platform. We want to encourage each and every one of you to, engage with us, try to leave your comments, try to share our posts. We want to grow with you. This has been a period of growth for us, and we really appreciate every one of you on this platform. So we continue on the topic of marriage versus bigamy. Once again, my name is Eno Vwaire, and I am your host on We Table It Coffee Chatter today. All right, so I would like to define what marriage is. I'll be sharing my screen with you so that before we go on, we have an understanding. Every one of us are on the same page about what marriage is. 1 minute. I got this definition. Pinch out. Yeah. Hopefully you get this. Okay, so from Britannica.com, we have marriage, a legally and socially sanctioned union usually between a man and a woman that is regulated by laws, rules, customs, beliefs, and attitudes that prescribe the rights and duties of the partners and accord status to their offspring, if any. Now we understand, because this topic is about marriage versus bigamy. We would go to look at what bigamy is. I have a lot of, I'm going to stop sharing for a while I try to introduce someone who we need to see to give us a legal perspective, like I said earlier. Thank you as you come in on this call. Try to help us share this call. It's very important that we have more people join us because this is a very interesting issue and it's going to impact a lot of people. On this call, we have our barrister, Mrs. Olayemi Ushiadi. She is a law professional and a social work professional. All right, she is multifaceted, and she obtained her first degree from Olabisi Onabanjo University in 2009 and was called to the Nigerian bar in 2010. She practiced corporate law in Nigeria for 10 years before relocating to the UK, where she did a master's in social work at the University of Salford. Olayemi Ushiadi now practices as a social worker in the UK. She's passionate about making a difference in people's lives. Her life goals are meaningful existence, purpose, and fulfillment. Thank you for joining us on this call. Please, can you just say a word to everyone who's watching you before we go ahead?
All right. Thank you very much, Eno. That was fantastic. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to be here. I never pass on an opportunity to have meaningful conversations with people because we learn after this discussion. I'm sure a lot of us will be taking things away that would help our lives in some way. Okay, so my name is Olayemi, but you can just call me Yemi. I think it makes us a bit more familiar with one another.
Sure.
I'm going to be talking about the legal perspective of things. I mean, marriage, bigamy, in Nigeria. So we'll basically be talking about laws in Nigeria. Just like you said, marriage is the union. I'm just going to be as simple as possible, so we're not using a lot of professional jargons like words that some won't understand. Okay, so it's a voluntary union between one man to one wife to the exclusion of every other person. In Nigeria, there are like 4 types of marriages. We have statutory marriages, we have customary marriage, we have the Islamic marriage, and we have church marriages. Nigeria operates like a dual legal system, and this duality creates like a disparity in the application of law when it comes to marriage. So statutory marriages, just like you mentioned earlier, they are contracted and they're regulated by the Marriage Act, Matrimonial Causes Act. In Nigeria, this is usually done at a marriage registry where a certificate is issued by the registrar. If you marry under the Marriage Act, it imposes the obligation of monogamy to those who marry under it. In Nigeria, because like I don't know about other people, but for me, I did both customary marriage and I did statutory marriage. And it happens for many people in that way. Coming to bigamy. Bigamy is defined as an act of marrying one person while already legally married to another. If you do that, bigamous marriages are void ab initio. That means they are void from the very onset. Bigamy it can happen in 2 ways. It's called polygyny, where the man marries more than one woman, and it's called polyandry, where the woman marries more than one man. The primary provision, the law that provides and governs bigamy in Nigeria is the Criminal Code Act and the Penal Code Act, which covers various states in the southern and the northern parts of Nigeria. What I'm going to say is that for marriages, because we do different types. Some people do as much as 3 types of marriages at once. Now, the law that governs the kind of marriage you have depends on the type of marriage that you contract. Whatever you do, I don't know if I should start relating it to your Ledoche's case yet, or I should just continue to speak about the provision of the law. Okay, so under section 370 of the Criminal Code Act, it says that bigamy is a felony punishable by imprisonment. You can get up to 7 years if you're convicted. Somehow the Marriage Act, the provision under the Marriage Act is kind of different, because I think the Marriage Act stipulates 5 years. It's also punishable under the Penal Code Act. Section 35, talking about if you've done multiple, like if you've done the customary marriage and you've also done the statutory marriage. Section 35 of the Marriage Act in Nigeria provides that a person who marries under the Marriage Act shall be incapable during the continuance of such marriage of contracting a valid marriage under the customary law. And we have a case study in Momo versus Momo. So if you have a question in your mind as to, okay, what if I did both the customary and the statutory marriage, and under the customary marriage that I did, it's okay to marry more than one person, what happens? Now, it's very clear. The civil law takes priority over any other thing. As long as you've made a contract and you've done a marriage under statutory law, you're bound by it. So any other law is how do I put it, the civil law, the statutory law takes priority. You cannot. You've also committed bigamy if you've married statutorily, and then later you want to carry out another marriage under the customary law, you still have committed that offense. So, enough. Let me stop talking for now.
Okay, thank you very much. We will still call you back to answer, because I know a lot of people have questions they want to ask you. Now, on this topic, we have a very big, like I would put it, case study, something that's been trending since 2023. And a lot of people are watching and want to see the conclusion of the legal procedures concerning the divorce proceedings, all right, of Yul and May Edochie. But before we go on, we would like to let everyone know that the statutory provisions of marriage in the world is similar in a few aspects. And so, yes, this is a good place to grab as much information that is relevant to you. If you are in a situation where you do not know what to do, or you do not have clarity about anything happening to you right now, this is a good place to listen and ask questions. Once again, thank you all for joining this call. Do us a favor to share. We want more people to join. Please be informed that we have our platform on YouTube. We Table It. We have on Instagram. We have on Twitter, now X. We have on TikTok and here on Facebook. So please follow us on these pages, like our pages. Please interact with our posts. It's important to us so that we can continue this goodwill. All right, for us to continue, we want to engage you, our audience. So it's okay to leave your opinion in the comment section for those of you who are here with us on this call. It's a good time for you to share experiences. We want to hear one or two persons tell us an example of this situation of bigamy, minus the case study, because we are going to treat that one in isolation, all right? So anyone here on this call who wants to talk to us about their personal experience of bigamy, or maybe someone close to them or in their environment, that this thing has happened and, you know, everyone was thrown into maybe chaos. So if there's anyone on this call who wants to share one experience about it as relevant to this topic, please let us know. You can indicate by raising your hand up. If you look just below the screen on your Zoom, you'd see the icon to raise your hand so to speak. All right, thank you, Adese. You can say something. Please unmute yourself and say something. Thank you for coming on this call. Adese, kindly unmute. We cannot hear you.
Unmute. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. This is really a good topic. I just wish to thank you quickly, Eno, for putting this up. This is a really controversial topic, and I really came expectant to learn. And I'm really happy with the first speaker. She has done so well. She has shown that, I think it's Yemi, right?
Yes, Barrister Yemi. Yep.
Barrister Yemi.
Yes, correct.
Yes, Barrister Yemi, I really picked up a lot from you, just from your first statement, which is really great. First of all, let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Adese. I'm a nurse also in the UK, and I happen to be married. I'm married, and previous divorcee, and now married to the love of my life. And for this marriage I had the customary, and also had the statutory one. In fact, I had both the church and the court. Okay, so prior to now, I've always thought that it was people could hide. It was okay for people to have a double marriage if they had if they are under the customary, even though they had the court. But I think this clarity of with regards to the case study showing that as long as you've had the court, you can't have the double marriage, makes it invalid. That really brings a lot of clarity to me, and I didn't really see that coming. We've always heard of people having so many going out to marry, and the men would go under the umbrella of, okay, it's just a traditional marriage, it's not a real marriage. And unfortunately, because the customary marriage is such that there is no paperwork, and even though there are pictures, it could look like it could have just been a script. Now, the problem would be how to protect these women from this kind of situations. Because unlike where I am in UK, everything is documented. But in Nigeria, even the things that are documented, there is no follow-up. So it's just how to brace or broach this part, this lapse, because I see it as a huge gap people always fall into. That's my take.
All right. Can I say something now?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
All right. Adaize, thank you for sharing. I'm sure it's not an easy thing to talk about. I just have a few questions. Did you say you married both statutorily and customarily?
Yes, I had a traditional marriage. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I also had my church, and it was the Catholic Church and the court, because it was both. Yes.
Okay. Did you get it dissolved before you entered into another marriage?
Oh, sorry. The previous one, it was just, yes, of course, I had to get a full divorce, a degree absolute.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then that's fine then. I was thinking that there was a part that you said, the man said because you did it only under the customary law, it was non-existent. So I kind of got lost.
Oh, sorry. I'm just saying that people,
Okay.
this is what
Right.
usually happens. Because even whilst my relationship was in the midst of getting dissolved,
Yeah.
the person that I was with
Yeah.
went to pay the dowry for someone else. But of course, I didn't really bother myself about that because I felt that it was okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So Adaize shares similar experiences with some of the few other persons that I am acquainted with, where you are in a marriage relationship, and whilst that meet, you find out that the man you are with is getting married to someone else without your permission or without your notice. I mean, you're having a legally binding relationship. You're going to having the wedding, and the other party sees it as not a strong, I don't know, a strong reason to go out. It's not a strong reason they can actually do what they want to do, citing a culture as a backup for going polygamous. So when we're having this talk is for people to understand that when you are having a court wedding, you should understand that whatever provisions of that marriage stipulates that you can only be one man and one wife. And if any man goes, like the lawyer barrister has told us, any man or any woman goes outside of that contract to meet somebody else, that is a crime and is punishable in all the parts of the world. We are going to be talking about different types of marriages. But before we go on, we are going to analyze first one of the reasons why we had this talk, the Yul and the May Edochie case of Nigeria. For some of you who are not Nigerians and may not be privy to this information we want to share, we just want to let you know about the case that's been happening since last year, 2023. So the person in question, Yul, is one of the actors, of very popular actors in Nigeria, and everyone admired his relationship about 17 years before these issues with his wife. And one day he posted on social media and said, introducing a baby, saying that this is his son from his second wife. And that was how the first wife got to find out that you is married to somebody else. It was just in public. Now, May, the wife of you, is saying that they had a court wedding. Yul is not seeing that as a reason for him to stay monogamous. He's citing culture that permits him to have more than one wife. It's been a crazy situation with diverse opinions, diverse reactions to the situation. All right, people are asking questions. Is it right for him to do what he did? And when there was a lot of backlash from, his fans over that incident, he went on to post on his page an apology to his wife. I'll try to see if I can share this. I have this, so I'll share with you guys the apology and then her reaction to his apology. All right. So he says to my dear wife, I acknowledge that I hurt you deeply and I have apologized. I beg your pardon for this interruption. Okay. All right. He says, oh, sorry. To my dear wife, Queen May, you I acknowledge that I hurt you deeply and I have apologized to you countless times. Continuing, he said, I take the blame for my actions and I agree with you that polygamy shouldn't be forced on anyone. You never bargained for it from the beginning, neither did I. But I guess life happens. You already know the whole story. I didn't do it to disrespect you. I didn't do it to replace you, no, because I do not love you anymore. No, I have always loved you and always will. I have been a good husband and a wonderful father. He gave himself to the podcast. I have supported all your hustle from day one. I have been an exceptional father to our children to date, making sure they lack nothing and always there for everyone. Out of 100, I have done 99 things right. Basically, because of this one thing isn't the best. Nobody is perfect, and I'm not. You are not. Nobody is except God. I assure you that nobody is trying to take your place. I have apologized to you countless times, sincerely from my heart. I am sorry. I have always loved you and always will. That he spoke his language. He says we can live peacefully and happily. And now the wife replied. She said, I had to just cut it short, not to waste my time. But the highlight of her reply is to reaffirm my stand, I will not be cajoled into accepting polygamy, which goes against my beliefs, faith, and values. I will not be numbered in a home that we started building with love, faith, tears, hopes, and prayers in a Catholic marriage of 18 years, following a long-term premarital relationship. All right. So I have spoken to a lot of people concerning this issue, and everyone with diverse opinions, but the majority are like in our culture, and I know in other parts of the world, especially in the Mid-Eastern Asia or so, Eastern Asia or so, the polygamy is a thing, and people understand that they build societies through polygamy. It is not a crime. If I biblically speaking as well, it is not a crime to go into polygamy. There's no way it was outlawed in the Bible that thou shalt not marry two wives, thou shalt not marry two husbands. There is no way or nowhere it was outlawed. So, yes, if one wants to go into polygamy, my take on it is you let whoever is involved before the contracting any marriage with any everyone, let them know of future possibilities of Okay, sorry about that little technical difficulty. I am back, and yes, ask every one of you how, for those of us who are familiar with the situation, how do you think that this impacts on personal and legal perspective? What do you guys think? I want anyone from the audience to answer this question. Can I have anyone with their hands up? Anyone who wants to answer, please can you check the comments? Thank you for the comments. Thank you. Thank you for the comments. Do we have anyone who wants to contribute to this at this point?
Hi, Eno. Can I just chip in opinion now? Not legal perspective, just opinion. So in yours case, a lot of questions kind of remain unanswered because I think there are a lot of things, facts that we don't know looking from outside. Now, one thing that I think one thing that they do not help with in Nigeria is before you go into a marriage, properly informing, I don't know whose duty that is, whose responsibility that lies on, to make sure that the couple going into that marriage are properly and well informed of the expectations of that contract, from that contract of marriage. Because I'll give an example. Someone like my father, he never got married under the statutory law. They did only customary marriage. And I think that he did it intentionally because he's somebody that he used to lecture. So he's somebody that was well read. And I think he knew the implications of getting married under the law. So he did only the customary marriage. Although he remained monogamous all through, he didn't take any second wife or anything. But I think he just was aware and did not want to be obligated, to keep to one person, even though his morals held him to standard, and he did keep to it at the end of the day. So I feel like young people are going into it now and they do not know. If you know that you don't have the moral standard to be faithful to one person or to keep to one person throughout the lifetime of that marriage, do not go to the registry. Do not get married under the Marriage Act. Just do the customary. We know that customary laws are different in different areas of Nigeria, but I know that most customary laws allow polygamy. It allows people to marry more than one wife. In yours case, I think where he's from in the East is allowed to marry more than one wife. But unfortunately for you, you also did your first marriage under the Marriage Act, and that was not properly dissolved before you went into another marriage. So legally speaking, in the face of civil law, legally you have committed bigamy, and it's going to go to court and it's going to be heard. And if law happens as it should in Nigeria, it's a punishable offense.
Wow. All right. So yes, our barrister is discussing about what happens in Nigeria when you do bigamy. Now, I want everyone to understand that this is synonymous to what's happening in other parts of the world. I think we have that common thing, in that provision of statutory marriages, that one man, one wife all over the world. So when you do contrary, it means that you are committing a crime. I want to say something here again. For some of them that think that the law is nothing, or the law is just protecting women. I am a science student. I'm from a science background. Growing up in secondary school, but when I was peeping into my friend's textbook, I could see something about legislative arm, executive arm, judiciary arm, that before a law is passed, it was passed through different phases and through different tables. Let me put it this way. And everybody, they contribute to it, people vote for it, and the popular opinion stands and it becomes a law. True or false, barrister?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Yes, please. Right on.
Yeah. All right. So now this law about marriage in court is what the popular opinion is, what the popular, reasoning is. Everyone, I mean, the majority are saying this is how we want our marriages in Nigeria to be. All right. So when everybody has agreed this way, when one person comes out to say that the law is not useful, it means this person is standing against the law, which is punishable. I need us to understand this, that these laws were made by us, people for us. All right. I want you guys to understand this. So we'll go ahead. This is a session where we would learn a lot of things. I want to talk about the diverse cultural views on marriage. When I say that, I mean global views on marriage. In South Asia, we have arranged marriages. Even in Africa, in the northern part of Nigeria, I can say there are arranged marriages. Where marriages are arranged by families, emphasizing compatibility in social, economic, and cultural aspects. We have the polygamous, which is the topic of discussion in form of bigamy. Certain African and Middle Eastern cultures allow a man to have multiple wives simultaneously, often influenced by historical, religious, or social traditions. We have matrilocal residence. We have Trobriand Islands, Papua New Guinea. In matrilocal societies, married couples reside with or near the wife's family, emphasizing strong maternal bonds and support networks. The fourth one is bilateral descent, Native American cultures. In cultures with bilateral descent, individuals are recognized as belonging to both their mothers and fathers' families, impacting kinship and marriage practices. Some of these things are new. Until I went into research, did I find out that some of these kind of marriages actually exist. The fifth is trial marriages. We have the newer people of South Sudan, they are even in Ethiopia. These people practice a form of trial marriage where couples live together temporarily before formalizing the union, allowing for compatibility assessment. I was discussing with my sister just yesterday, and based on conversations, even before now, years ago, I found out that even my culture, my tradition, it is allowed when a young man comes for a woman's hand in marriage, they can send the woman to the house temporarily to stay with the family of the man to assess if she can marry these people. All right. And before they can or may not conduct the marriage. We have, I beg your pardon. I'm getting a lot of distractions. Levirate marriage. Certain African and Middle Eastern cultures. Levirate marriages involves a widow marrying her deceased husband's brother. All right, serving as a social and economic support mechanism. We have ghost marriages in China. In some Chinese culture, individuals may marry posthumously, a practice known as ghost marriage to ensure continuity of family lines and honor ancestors. Then this one marveled me, group marriage. The Toda tribe in India. The Toda tribe practices group marriage, where a group of men and women are considered married to one another within the community. Then we have endogamous marriage, still in the Indian caste system. They have the caste system in India that encourage endogamous marriages within specific social or caste group to maintain social cohesion. This is equally common even in Nigeria here. Then the same-sex marriage that is quite controversial. There are different kinds of marriage. So a lot of people have, different upbringing, different backgrounds, and thus they have different views about marriage. So when you as a partner, you are bringing in a man or a woman into marriage and you want to have a legal marriage, it is good, like the lawyer said, you educate each other about everything, the elements of a legal marriage, so that whoever cannot do this will take a walk. All right. Excuse me. Please share this post. It's important. At this point, I want to ask everyone to ask us any question. We have the lawyer here to answer your questions. If you have any question, yes, Adeize, please ask your question.
Yes. So the question I want to ask is, with regards to, since we are using the male Yul and May Edochie situation as a case study. Now, I read in a newspaper, leadership newspaper to be precise, which was written 2 months ago, okay, that the actor Yul denied being married to Judy Austin. And it's from this same paper, it says that even Judy also denied and said she wasn't married to Yul. That was when the divorce was brought up. In that particular scenario, like, will someone still accuse Yul of bigamy? That's the question. Will he still be
I think
held
I'll leave that
liable?
question. Yeah, I'll leave the question for the barrister to answer.
Yes.
All right. So, in law, if you're coming before the law, you need to the responsibility is on you to prove. Now, it's going to be on me to prove with every evidence she has that there's been a marriage. If she can't, she needs to, I don't know, they need to go to the registry and check if anything has been registered. If there was a ceremony, it's enough to prove. So she's just, the responsibility is going to be on her to prove that a marriage has been conducted during the lifetime of her marriage to Yul for them to convict him of bigamy.
Can I ask a follow-up question to that?
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, through this social media, which of course could be false or true, we don't know how it goes.
Yeah.
There has been reports of Yul going to pay her dowry, that's Judy's dowry. And we know that this customary kind of marriages has no paperwork attached to it. And the only thing you could see is a picture. And these are 2 actors. So one can say maybe it's a skit. So, so then it puts, some people in a very difficult situation. Now, I just want to know if there's any provisions in the court, maybe any case studies that has shown this type of thing happening and how it was taken care of. Just curious.
So I can totally understand where this question is coming from. That's why I don't know if you've ever attended a court session before, and when arguments are being, brought forward before the court. In this Yul's case in particular, because there's been so much noise about it, and social media posts can also serve as evidence in court. It now depends on the court on what weight they will attach to everything that's been going on social media. They could do things like, if really a dowry has been paid, it would be on the prosecution or the plaintiff to go and see if they can get a witness or somebody that will testify from the family that they've collected dowry for her or something. They just need to bring something before the courts. The court is not going to work with hearsay or all that kind of evidence. It's left in the courtroom who argues best on whether it has actually happened, but the court would work on evidence.
Wow. All right. So there are tangible evidences. No one can accuse you of bigamy. I get that. Does that answer your question, Adeize?
Oh, yes, it does. It does.
All right. Thank you for asking that question. Is there anyone who has a question to ask? I'm going to read Valerie's question. She says, how do you handle bigamy when the man has married wives in different countries? Now, which laws apply? Barrister, over to you.
The law of the place or the country where he did his first marriage, his first contractual, the marriage act of that country for his first marriage will apply.
Interesting. So in the place of this question, when you have men who go to different different countries and get married to different women, now they said, the lawyer is telling us that the country where the first wedding was conducted holds, the right to sue anyone for bigamy. All right. So we have Elizabeth Tosin. Your hands raised up. Please, can you ask your question? Elizabeth, if you're muted, please unmute and ask your question. Okay, while we are waiting for Elizabeth, you're muted. Please just unmute so you can ask your question. Check your mic. Elizabeth, I'd love to hear from you. All right. It says muted. No, you have to unmute from your end. Let me see if I can do that for you. Ask to unmute. Post muted, no. Please try to unmute again. All right. So there are challenges harmonizing cultural practices with legal norms. Can we address that now? Barrister, is there anything you want to say about it? Challenges harmonizing cultural practice with legal norms.
So okay. So in I'm going to be speaking in Nigeria. Nigerian law kind of recognizes our cultures, and they take into cognizance the provisions of the cultural provisions and cultural laws in Nigeria. But however, it depends on what exactly what the bone of contention is. What's the bone of contention? If it's something that our civil law, the Constitution already provides for. Obviously, if it goes to court, if that contention is taken to court, the common law, the civil law would supersede cultural practices in Nigeria. That's how it is. But the court does recognize cultural laws.
Okay. All right. So the court recognizes cultural laws. If we have people who have not had court weddings, they have just traditional weddings, and they have cases for their marriage. Definitely, their marriage will be recognized by the law. That's what she's saying. Now, one of the things where we have a crossroad is statutory marriages and cultural marriages, age of consent. In northern Nigeria, I'm going to use that because that's what I'm familiar with. We have cases of young children, girls getting married, even as younger than 10 years old. This is one of the crossroads between the statutory marriage and then the traditional marriage, because according to law, I think it's 18 years, right, Barrister? I think it's 18 years that one can actually get married. Is it 18? For some states in the United States, we have it at 17, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
15,
it depends on location where.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is it, because some would say it is okay for a child to be betrothed and married at the age of 5 and 6 and 7, but the court is going to have issues. So when a girl is married at that age, the court might not, recognize that union. Age of consent here, that's one of it. Then arranged marriages versus free choice. If you as a lady is forced into marriage by your parents, your custodians, however we put it, these things are typical of places like in India, in the northern part of Nigeria. I know in Kenya they might have situations like that where there are arranged marriages, and the woman has no say. The man has no say over the choice of the spouse. the parents will make that choice for them. So when it gets to the court, of course, that will not stand because they do not give their free consent to it. So there are so many crossroads of the statutory marriages and the customary marriages. I will go ahead now to do a quick review of the topic. We've been talking about marriage and versus bigamy, looking at the statutory provisions of marriage. And we have with us our barrister, Olayemi Ushaidi. She has been with us since the beginning of this call to give us a legal perspective on this topic. And she has done brilliantly well, answering every of the questions that's been thrown at her. And we've had people ask questions because, yes, this is a topic that has really touched a lot of people. We talk about the case study here, case study of you and his estranged wife, May Edoche. So, yes, the barrister has told us that that was the first advice, before two people get married, you need to be informed about provisions of statutory marriage. If you know you would want to get married in the future or you want to be polygamous, do not go to the court. That's what she has said. A lot of questions had come on and she had answered them. At this point, we want to take the final set of questions. If there's anyone who wants to ask a question, go ahead. If it's a contribution, we have a lot of people on this call on Zoom. Please go ahead to make your contribution. I see Matilda's hands up. Please, can you make your contribution or ask your question? Please unmute.
Hello. Yeah, hello everyone. I'm
Hello,
Matilda.
Matilda.
So yeah, I just have a question basically about what Barrister Yemi talked about. I have a particular question about a situation where the registry took place outside Nigeria, and the couple came to Nigeria and had their customary wedding, and now they moved back to Nigeria. So which law stands in a case where the man decides to have another wife in Nigeria? So I'm going to take it again, customary wedding in Nigeria, marriage in Nigeria, but the registry took place outside Nigeria. So which law will stand in the situation?
So the first marriage, the first marriage by law took place outside Nigeria.
Yes.
To another person or to the same person?
To the same person.
Okay. And do they have a certificate for that? Because they would also, the registrar would definitely issue a certificate for it.
Yeah, they do have one.
Yeah, so if they can provide a certificate of that marriage that happened wherever it happened, and the laws of that place where they contracted the marriage says, I think the law says everywhere that if you marry legally, you're obligated to remain monogamous under their laws mostly. So definitely, and it's the same thing. I don't know what country it is, but you know that most of our common laws are derived from English laws. So I don't know if it's an English country where this happened. It will be the same here in Nigeria. Now, the marriage that they did here the customary marriage they did here will be null if the one that was held wherever it was held has not been dissolved.
Okay,
so the law that marriage took place.
Okay, so now basically I'm talking about France. For example, they have a law that says any marriage that is not like the registry. For example, I get married in a registry and I get married in church to a different person. The French law doesn't recognize the marriage in church. It has to be in the registry for it to recognize. Yeah. So now coming to Nigeria now and getting married, like the dowry being paid and all that. And I no longer live in France. I live in Nigeria now. And I'm having a problem with my husband because I think, in quotes, I'm married legally to this man. So will they tell me to go back to France to sort myself out, or is there a provision for a situation like that in Nigeria?
You need to dissolve your marriage in France.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you for that question, Matilda. We still have Tulsi Elizabeth. raising her hand. Please go ahead, unmute and ask your question. Elizabeth, please unmute. Can someone assist? Because from my end, I can't assist her to unmute. I've asked her to mute, but she's not forthcoming. Please, can you check your mic again? She says, please unmute me. All right, let me try from this end. Okay. All right, try again, Elizabeth. We are still having that same problem. Sorry about that, Elizabeth. You've not been able to make your contribution. Why it's not typing? Okay, she's giving us feedback in the chat. She says, I don't know why it's not typing or not working. She'll type. It's okay to leave your questions or contribution in the chat. I will read them out. All right. So we are about rounding up. The key point is, like I said, I want to reiterate on that. When you want to get married, if you are the type that would want to go by the culture in the future and have many wives, that is perfectly okay. But do not do that without carrying whoever you want to get into the first marriage with alone. Please let them know of your intention to marry. And do not go to court if you know you are polygamous in nature. Please. We have diverse cultures and diverse conditions, so whatever it will allow you to do concerning marriages. So please be well informed. Don't go into any kind of relationship, because marriage is a contract, without being armed with information. That's what she said. All right, and a lot of other things that we are going to publish very soon on the Facebook and Instagram pages. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate everyone of you on this call once again. Thank you for being live with us. Thank you for sharing our pages. Thank you for following us. It's been a journey on the table. We are new about some months old, but yes, we're doing things, and it would not have been possible without your following us, without you watching the broadcast, without your sharing and your liking. Please do not relent in any of this support you are giving us. Before I go, I want to ask one more time, do we still have anybody who wants to give us a contribution before I ask the barrister to give us a closing remark and then we close? Any other person? I have the message from Elizabeth. Okay. Elizabeth says, a sister of mine got married to a hubby in Malaysia, statutory marriage, and they have 3 kids already. But they got to Nigeria, the man married a lawyer. This is what I would call low battle. So, what is the question? Elizabeth, please, can you quickly do that? Do you have any question? All right, please, can you give us your closing remark, barrister?
Hi. Well, thank you very much, Eno. I think I'm really glad I came on the show. It's been very, very interesting. We as women, I don't think we have any man on the call. We as women, we go through a lot. We go through. Oh, we do?
Yes, we do.
Oh, all right. So women and men alike, we have very unique experiences when it comes to marriage. Very, very unique experiences. And I just believe that, if for anything, we should all try to do the right thing by ourselves, by the person that we've committed to love and stay with. We all just need to do the right thing. And I feel like with kindness at the core of our values, the world can be a better place if everybody just tries to be kind. And I'm not going to I think I shouldn't say anything about y'all. There's a lot going on with y'all, May and Judy right now. And I think that will all be sorted in the courts. Everybody should bring their arguments to courts. And I'm sure that I hope that justice, everybody gets justice that they deserve. I believe that going forward, for us that we are here, I think that if we're married already, if we have people around us that are getting into marriage, I think we have a duty to educate them, let them know, if it's statutory, let them know that these are conversations they should have. If you're getting married, both of you should sit down and you should be open to yourself, the kind of marriage you want, the kind of future you want in them, what you want from that marriage, how this is going to run. If anything goes wrong, talk about if something goes wrong, what your goals are for the marriage. With this will kind of guide you on there's some women, like in Nigeria, for example, we also have the Islamic legal system that run very differently from, the legal system in Nigeria as we know it. There's some things that they allow and things that they do not allow. So because you have that multi-system functioning, I think you should make the best use of it. Knowing now that you can marry customarily and be guided by cultural laws. If you have that conversation and that's the line the two of you want to do, that's fine, that's good. But don't go into a contract deceitfully, or I don't know what to call it, and put people in this kind of precarious situations. It can be very messed up, especially when children are involved. So I feel like going into marriage now, people have to be more intentional. People have to ask more questions, ask more questions now, because it's not, I think when we were younger, it's all about love, how we're feeling. It's more than that right now. There's a lot of, we have situations of things going really terribly wrong. And this causes trauma to you as a person, and if children are involved, to children in that relationship that's been formed. So yeah, please equip yourselves with what the law says where you reside or wherever you want to contract in marriage. Please familiarize yourself with it to avoid stories that touch. Thank you very much, Eno, for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you. Just before I take the question, she says the question she asked initially, is it legal for the man who married and came back to marry someone else in Nigeria? Is this still bigamy? Yes, this is bigamy. So what is the best thing for her to do? Because the man believes since he didn't marry her in Nigeria, he's free to marry someone else. Yeah, I think someone asked that same question, and I feel it was much well answered. What do you think someone should do in this case? Is there provision for someone to get how do I put it? This is what I want to use, but I'm not a lawyer to use this word. So yes, well, there be any provision for the law to fight her case? A woman who got married abroad and her husband came to Nigeria and did the wedding with someone. Can she come to Nigeria and say, no, we have had a court wedding? And can Nigeria say, Mr. Mark, you are going to jail for doing this to your wife? Is this applicable here in this country?
Hi, Eno, because I struggled to hear you when you were talking. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Let me read it. Let me read the comment.
All right. As you read the comments, I would ask Adese to please say your closing question or remarks.
Okay, mine is not a question. It's more like maybe will I say personal opinion, or maybe a lived experience and an advice. I really do appreciate what the barrister Yemi has said. That was really, really well thought out, because in this country, when I say in this country, most times people just say we want to get married, and already there is this education. As a woman, you have to ensure that you have to be protected by law. Okay, so most of the women they just want to, if a man comes to them and they say, oh, I want church wedding, some will say, some that want to be ostentatious will say, I want a white wedding, and then some will just insist on the court wedding because it kind of validates the marriage. But with these things coming out, I think it's really best for people to really have a good think and ask themselves those questions, because I have, from personal experience, it wasn't a question I asked myself. And I would have not wanted to go through the legal process for the first relationship. But then again, there was this pressure, okay? There was family pressure, there was pressure from the man, it has to be like this. And trust me, the legal process, to get married with the legal process is cheaper, is easier. I know even though I'm married in Nigeria, it's of course the sun and the stress and the queuing and the hassles, yes, but with what I went through with the divorce, I think the marrying process was way easier. So what I would just advise everyone is that marriage is really serious. Before you think of getting into it, you really, really need to think. You and your partner needs to really, really have decisions, because divorce is really expensive. Okay, look at you and May now. They would never be the same. Most of the divorces, it's very rare to see a simple divorce, especially when kids are involved. So this is a life's decision. I think it should not be taken lightly. That's my opinion on this, based on life experience.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Is the barrister ready to speak to us?
Yeah. So her question was that there was a marriage that taking place somewhere else, and the man now went to Nigeria and had another marriage. Right. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, you are
help me
correct.
understand. All right. So the marriage that he did in Nigeria was customary marriage, or did he do a statutory marriage again in Nigeria?
No, a customary marriage in Nigeria.
In Nigeria. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that it depends on who is bringing an action. If the wife that he married, wherever he married that wife, brings an action against him for bigamy where they got married, then definitely he has to answer to the law there. In Nigeria,
Okay.
where he is, who is bringing the action forward? Who is accusing him of bigamy at this time? I'm a bit confused. I need a clearer picture of what's going on to be able to answer properly.
She's asking if it is possible for the wife from the other side who had a court wedding to come to Nigeria to lay a complaint in court that her husband is married to somebody in Nigeria after marrying her in court somewhere else.
Of course,
is it
yes.
something that can? All right. So
yes, she does have a case, as long as she can prove that marriage where the marriage held.
All right. So Elizabeth Tosin, I hope this answers your question. We've had very powerful contributions on this topic. Adeze, right now, she said something about you guys should be ready for that commitment before you enter marriage, because it's easier to get into marriage than to get out of marriage. Before you get into marriage, you should know what you are getting into, all right? And in order to be fair to all parties involved, please communicate whatever intentions you may have in the future. Let them know the kind of person you are. You need to do a research about the background of whoever you're getting married to. For some cases, like in my case, there has been a pattern of previous marriages and leaving those marriages and getting married again, and it repeated itself with me. So yes, these things happen. Learn to do a background check on the person you want to marry so that we do not have this case of bigamy. We are hopeful that everyone will meet people who are matured enough to be naked and unashamed towards them when it comes to the issue of marriage. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I want to use this opportunity to let you know that next week we'll be having another very interesting one, and it's going to be with Dr. Usaro. He's going to be touching on business this time around, nurturing your business with a flower of service approach. And after that, we'll have a general broadcast where you'll have the 3 hosts in one call, and it promises to be very, very interesting. Thank you so much once again, every one of you. We would appreciate it if you share this post even as you go, and help us invite your friends to like our pages on Facebook and every other area. Now, in the event of no one saying anything, I would like to end this call. It's been a pleasure. Barrister, thank you so much for your time. We really, really appreciate this. We do not take you for granted. And we are hopeful that you will be on this call sometime in the nearest future. We want to wish every one of you a very fantastic weekend, and then enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.